reaching diamond or
Oh yeah.
challenger.
Oh,
But I noticed that you are very good.
so you played for fun, and that's how like you're just sitting around in here. That's why are sitting around gold and
Yeah,
silver.
yeah, yeah. But I'm interested. Why not to
Mm-hmm.
be
So,
better?
let's see. Let's see. So, which of these games do you wanna rewatch in here? Which do you feel like that are worth? Like, there are some games where you probably did mistakes as well. Oh my God, what is this? Why is this? Did you watch the old Fox with the guy, then you went for Grasp, or why did you go for this though? That's
Sorry, what did you say?
Did you watch the old guide from that streamer from Vogt where he goes for Grasp against Camille, or like why did he go Grasp?
Yeah, in the past, but I noticed that I cannot survive Camille. I cannot. It's hard for me to survive Camille and Darius without
Like,
grasp.
here's the thing, like, um, you're gonna be useless if you go Grasp. Like, let's say your early game gonna be a bit more even, but you're gonna get outscaled more easily because there will be sometimes when you can get a ghost on them, you know. And if you don't have lethal tempo, it simply means that you don't have an all-in angle, right? And if you go for like Grasp against Darius or Camille, you just give them an easier opportunity to outscale you, you know. That's like the problem with it, right? Now Camille is actually one of the easiest matchups. In fact, even in pro play, they picked Tryndamere into Camille just to beat her in lane because it's a counter pick for her if you play Tryndamere correctly in the matchup, of course, because Camille can be a complicated champion and you need to know really well how to play around every single ability she has, you know, because everything has like a trick on it, you know.
Mm.
Now, we have in here Grasp, which is kinda sucks, but at least your short rate's gonna be a bit better early on. That's what it basically does. Okay, so we start out. You can even start Longsword and 3 pots, but D-Shield is fine as well.
You are looking to a specific game right now?
Oh, am I not like sharing my...
No, you're not. I don't see your
Oh,
screen. I don't see
oh wait,
anything.
I was sharing
So I
this.
was in blind.
Yeah, I was sharing actually Discord and not my screen, and I thought I'm sharing my screen for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna turn on Epic. Yeah, so yeah, so I thought you're seeing this thing. I was just sharing Discord for some reason.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, so in here we start with spin, general thing, your runes. So we went for demolish, these things. I mean, here's
I
the
cannot
thing.
see. I still cannot see your screen.
You can't see anything again.
No.
Gonna switch it to league then. Hmm. I mean, I think it's bugged maybe. Let me turn it on, off and on. Hmm. Okay. Now it should be visible. Oops.
Watch my stream. Okay.
Can you see it right now?
Yes, I can. Wait a second. I want to make it big. Fine, fine. Now I can see you.
So here we start out like, here's the thing, you said that you struggle a lot in lane against Camille, which usually shouldn't be if you play correctly.
You choose the game against Camille. Okay. Mhm.
Nah, in here like the problem kinda starts out from your runes, you know. And you said you struggle a lot against Camille in lane as Tryndamere, but then why do we take Demolish? Because realistically, we can't really get plates, you know, and we don't stack HP on Tryndamere, so Demolish won't be that good, you know. It doesn't really provide anything in lane, but I assume like Shield Bash and the other options aren't just better, right? So there isn't much you can flex. So in here there is a Camille, let's see if we do something. We spin away. Okay, we fight it. Someone texted me. No, it's nothing.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, so... Oh, oh, we wanna get the blast cone so you get a bit more fury, so we deal a... Okay, that's a good thing to do. So we get late invaded in here apparently. Okay, our start is a little bit sad now. In here you shouldn't actually hover around this area. One of the reasons is we're kind of low on HP. He has insane sustain. They just win this. We have no fury, right? So what you should do, just rush to the lane as fast as possible, and hope that Camille will overstay in here to leash him, and then you're gonna have an XP advantage. But this actually doesn't provide you anything, because if Echo doesn't rotate, which he probably won't, we don't win this 2v2, you know? Like, you have to realize this because of the HP differences and the champ difference, you know? Like, we just simply don't win this, right? So what I want you to tell, like, in here fighting is just really not a good idea. Or
I was there just to scare them and to put the ward.
yeah, maybe you just kind of mind control them. I mean, I assume you had Ignite. Oh, that's a problem as well. Like, if we play Ignite and no lethal tempo, no ghost, it just simply means that I will actually like look through the earlier parts of the game, but I feel like it's kind of useless to watch this game if you have grasp because and no ghost, because it just simply means that even if we get an all-in angle, we can't all-in her because we just don't have the facilities for that, you know. So
Then let's move to another game, that one that I show you where I had the ghost and
yeah, so let's talk about at least this early trade, right? Like,
Okay.
Camille had bomb plating and her shield up, right, from her passive, right?
yes.
And you spin then. The thing is, what you should do, you out-attack her and you walk out. And then wait until her shield drops and her bomb plating, and then you E back, right? Because when her passive got procced and her bomb plating, you spinned in and you went for 1 or 2 auto-attacks, right? But what you should do is just auto her, walk away. For 20 seconds she has no passive, which is a big shield, right? And for 45 seconds, 45? 40... Yep, 45 seconds she has no bomb plating. And this bomb plating is soaking like 90 damage, I think, right? Or I don't even know how much, 30? Yeah, it's 90.
A lot, yes.
And this is the 132, which is over 200, right? So, no way you just try to force this all in, right? And then we just get out short traded in here, alright? It's kinda like when you play against somebody that has like some type of small shield that has to be procced. Or like when you're facing Seth, you know, his crit bar is up, you gotta spin away before his W hits you, something like that. Let's look at a different game, because I feel like it's just like you have a bad setup, you know, which kinda trashes you. And here we have Grasp. Oof.
I told you, against Camille and Darius, usually I take grasp because I don't know how to survive them. I mean, they just kill me.
Yeah. See, I feel like you need to learn how to like. Here's the thing, like you're gonna have a little bit better short rates, and it's a bit easier to survive. But if you don't have lethal tempo, you don't have a kill pressure on the Darius, and it's easier for him to outscale you. You know, that's where the problem starts. You know. Okay.
And the thing that I notice is that usually in early game, I'm bad in taking kills. I mean, I'm behind one level or two behind the other one.
I mean,
Go back to the games, go down.
down.
That one. 21-7-6, yes.
So let's see what happened in here. We face a cannon. That should be like, it's a bit hard early on, but it should be fine. Let's see what you do this game.
I swapped lanes
Also,
with our mid laner, and I went against against Irelia.
yeah, so that was like a really good idea. Then you kind of win from like this decision taking that you want to switch with the mid laners. That's like one of the best things you can do. In fact, every time like you see there is like a good champion you can beat like on mid lane, you should just aim to switch if your mid laner can face the top laner as well. Okay. So we switch on mid lane, we are facing an Irelia. This should be an easy matchup. By the way, against Irelia, I don't really prefer going for Doran Shield. I would just go Blade, honestly. In fact, that's what like most of the Tryndamere players are going for. They are going Blade because here's the thing, Irelia is not poking you too much. She all-ins you mostly, right? And like early on, you're gonna dominate the very early levels generally with Tryndamere, right? And that healing, like here's the thing, if you can win the early levels, that Omnivamp sooner or later, like after few levels, will be more valuable, the healing from it, than the Doran Shield one, right? So for that early game damage, for that little healing, you know, I would rather go for that
30
one.
seconds.
Like you get
Blade and 3 potions, yes?
no, you get like Doran's blade because that
Doran's Blade.
that HP and that little healing is kinda important, you know. I would just go blade, it's like better in all-ins, you know. It's just because you're gonna hard dominate this matchup, you know. Like I tried actually to go blade against Irelia, and she actually just killed me because I had like longsword, I mean, and I didn't have like Doran's blade. That was my experience. Like Doran's blade is like what everybody goes in
Minions
higher
have
ranks against
spawned.
Irelia.
My problem is this, that I don't know how to play aggressive at the very beginning, and before 6 I'm playing more defensive,
I mean,
and usually this means that I'm 1 level behind or 2 levels behind, and from there I start to play.
so here's the thing, like you gotta identify what kind of, like you kinda have to read their abilities to know that what you're facing, you know. Like let's look at her base stats, they are way lower than yours, right? When she comes to the lane, you will see her how much stats she has. Like you see she has 520 HP, low armor, low AD, her Q does not deal much damage, 50 damage, right? Her passive does like 12, but only if it's stacked, and it gives her some attack speed. That means that your base stats are way higher, right? So even though she has corrupting potions in here, like you already should know that this is an easy matchup in the very early level, so you shouldn't ever do this. Like you shouldn't ever allow her to auto attack these minions and get her passive stacks, you know, because your champion just really, like you have lethal tempo as well, which is generally better in these all instant press the attack, right? Looks like there is like 200 HP, almost 200 HP stat difference, right? You can see it with your eyes. Then there is like a little bit of armor difference and all that. You have a bit more attack speed. So generally speaking, in this matchup, you should aim to... Oh, by the way, you need bomb plating. You need bomb plating, not this one. Because, as I said, she's not poking too much. She's more likely all-inning you, you know? She's not really like poking like a gangplank, right? So that
so you suggest to go with bone plating?
yeah, I mean, usually I go bone plating 100%, and instead of Legend Tenacity, you can take Bloodline. Then again, Bloodline, after the change, I'm not sure how good it is, but I always went for it. The double Tenacity is not the best against Irelia. Let's talk about like what you did in here, right? So, in here how this matchup should go, since you're gonna dominate the early levels, what you should do, if you out-attack these minions, you can even completely pressure her away from these minions. Like you just step up, out-attack her, when she's not in auto range anymore, you spin on top of her, but you should zone her away. The problem is you allow her to last it for free when she's in a way weaker state than you are, right? So what you should do, you fight for your fury, you last hit these minions, and you zone her as much as possible, right? Because you already see with your eyes that she has way lower base stats than you have, right? So that means that she shouldn't win this, right?
So you want to say that always before the game starts, I have to check the opponent to see his base qualities, yes?
Yeah, like you gotta know what you're facing. Like for example, the Camille. You remember when the Camille like outshort traded you early on, and she kinda even zoned you from the wave?
She's much stronger.
That shouldn't happen. Like level 1, that actually shouldn't happen, you know? Like once you proc her bomb plating and shield, you walk away. She can't really step up anymore because she's gonna get all in by a lethal tempo Tryndamere. Just because, like, here's the thing, like, you can see like the rune differences as well. Like you gotta read a little bit like their abilities, like what their abilities do early on, and like what kind of base stats they have, you know, to see like what are the chances we're gonna win this fight, right? That's like the easiest way to identify. Now this is what I don't like what you're doing here. So look how much auto attack she swings in, and she's fighting you between 3 minions. So imagine it, if you auto attack her continuously, she actually just dies in here, no? That's the thing, and you just walked away for some reason.
But she had Ignite and I had nothing. I had only Ghost.
It doesn't matter, like, should I mathematically calculate this for you? So here's the thing, like, she kills the minions, which you allow to happen, right? And the problem is you spinning in here without like stacking up your fury, you know, like you shouldn't spin in like that. What you should generally do, like if she's not in auto attack range anymore, you should spin after her, right? So spinning in is just a bit of a mistake, right? And the problem is you went on her when she had like 4 stacks, but in here I feel like maybe she's winning this. Maybe she's winning this. Possibly she would win this time. But I think there is like a ward where instead of like completely trying to walk away, you win this because there are like 3 minions and these minions deal like more than 20 damage on hit, right? So if you auto-attack her continuously, possibly would kill her. But then again, the main mistake happened, early on because you didn't zone her from the 3 minions.
Look, again, I'm playing very defensive. You remember what I told you.
Yeah. It's completely fine if you do.
But now I use this.
That's good then. Like, I mean, Tryndamere is not really a champion that anybody plays defensively early on, that's how I saw it, Like, I think there is like one streamer, like, did you watch like Fogt?
Yeah, I watched Fogged, I watched Ranger Ziggs.
Yes, that's the thing
I don't
about
like that guy, very arrogant guy, what's his name, Nice.
Nice? You don't like Nice? Yeah, he can yell at clients as well, right?
Yeah,
so here's the
Nice
thing,
is-
like, Fogt, he usually plays passively the lane, as I heard, like, he plays really passively and really consistently early on, He actually, like, as I heard, I don't watch him anymore, I didn't watch him since a long time, I watched his stream. I guess we just win that. Like, I assume that would be a bit of a bad fight, but he had some crit RNG in there apparently.
I had the level advantage.
Oh, you had the level advantage too, right?
And she did this mistake. She engaged me when I had the level advantage. And
Yeah, but it kinda looked like you got a little bit lucky in there as well, no? That's like you were like one auto attack off. Alright. Okay, now we just wanna get out of this. You just spin out. So we already have like 2 level advantages, right? So at this point of the game probably we'll play a bit more offensively, right? So usually Executioners is the go-to against Irelia, but yet I wouldn't buy Executioner because she has no lifesteal in her inventory besides potions, so yet it's not really worth, but later on you need to get Executioners. So how much gold did you have in here when you recalled? Let's see it again.
1000, I think, because I bought the boots.
Yeah, 1000, so you could exactly buy boots. I think boots are fine as an option, right? Because you can just run her down without even ghosting, so it should be fine. Like against these weaker early game matchups, boots are really good, where if you ever like hit your slow, you can run them down without like ghosting, so that's like a good option. Okay. So we're walking to lane right now. Alright.
So my main thing is this, I don't know how to play aggressively at the beginning. It's, for me, it's
You
difficult.
gotta, like here's the thing, you gotta recognize your strengths and weaknesses of your champion and of his champion, right? Like, it's not true that, like, Tryndamere is an early game champion as well, like level 2 with full fury, you should like win most of the 1v1s, like most of them, right? There are some exceptions, right? There are some exceptions, there are some matchups where some crit RNG is needed to kill them, right? But really, you don't even need a crit RNG to beat her early on, like, for example, it really depends on their stats, like for example from your experience as well, like Seth can probably beat you early on, right? But if you get some RNG you might be able to beat him, right? So in here they are freezing, I hope. Yeah, you do. It's really good apparently. So the Viego shows up, you spin away, that's good. So in here we just want to slowly last it, right? So in here you are holding the wave on your side, that's really good. Like you kinda, like if you don't recognize, when your strengths and weaknesses are, you can like look at many things, the runes they have, the champion they play, what kind of summoner spells do they have up, what items they may have, what level they are,
Ignite is, I noticed that Ignite is very powerful in the lane phase.
It can be surprising sometimes, it can be surprising. But Ignite after level 6 just becomes really shit against Tryndamere, except if someone ignites you at the end of your ultimate, and that can suck. But Ignite just does nothing, against Tryndamere after 6. That's how I see it. So she comes back to the lane. I mean, I hope you don't play this passively with 2 level advantages, right?
No, I think I know. I'm following her.
Yeah, so now we know what we are doing. Okay. So in here we can do 2 things. We can either shove or we can even like hold the freeze, but I would ideally shove in here because you're getting 6 soon. So what you should do right now, shove this wave as fast as possible, right? And then we get like one plate, we get this plate off. Meantime she's dead, because remember she plays with ignite, she doesn't place with TP, right? Which means if we shove this, when she died, if we shove this, we get one plate or maximum 2. And we have a level 6, right? And if you are playing mid Tryndamere, or even on top lane sometimes, right? If we can't kill our laner, which we can, like if you get 6 you can probably run this Irelia down. The only problem is we don't have Ghost, which is kinda questionable if you can kill her under tower. So what you can do, we can roam bot lane because we have our ultimate, right? Which means we can we don't die for 5 seconds, plus like if we are full HP we can tank for a little more. Which means we're gonna get possibly 1 or 2 kills. If not, we can go on the more isolated side of the map and we can probably dive a cannon with the help of an Ahri. Now she's not really in a spot to dive for, and he's in the middle of the lane of course, but there are things that you can do with your ultimate. You can force some dives with it, right? Okay, so in here we are pushing. There's like one thing I don't like when you're pushing, just try to like spin through the whole wave, you know, don't spin through like one minion.
Mhm.
So in here we want to take maybe a plate, yeah. So we take a plate, Irelia is coming back with 2 level disadvantages. You wanna die? You don't?
No, it was a mistake. I didn't want to hit her. I wanted to hit the minion, I remember.
So 2
I
people
hit
are
her.
fighting. So
My mistake.
you can still probably kill this Irelia, honestly, like she's level 4.
Yeah. I think I killed her, yes.
Oof. You overstepped a little bit in the tower range, right? Now,
Yeah.
there is the other problem as well. I see like you miss, sometimes you miss auto attacks on like minions, you know, like quite often you randomly click on a minion when you're fighting with Irelia. So there is like a good fix for that. Just go to the settings and click on the target champions only, and then you don't misclick on minions randomly. Like I see like if Irelia is between minions, quite often it happens to you that you actually manage to misclick on something, you know. And
So where did you say to go? To settings?
yeah, settings, go down to
General, not,
game,
game.
and you click on this, the last one, three target champions only, and you click on this, and you press.
I have only auto attack, use movement prediction, attack, move to cursor, and show turret range.
The last one, it doesn't appear for you.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
Wait, because I want to see this. This is game,
You go
and
to
you
game.
have.
Down. You scroll down. You have to scroll down.
Yeah. I don't have that last option.
You don't have it.
No, maybe because I did not start it.
Start the bots.
Yeah, wait, let me start the vote. Maybe it's because of this.
Yeah, but do you have like attack move on cursor on, like this one?
Yes, I have that one.
I mean, like in game you have it, no? Like when you, do you remember if you have it in game on, or?
I would just want to check now.
Like everybody has it, but I don't even know what to do about that if it's missing from you.
I think, wait, because now I will start the vote and it should be here. Yes or not? Okay. So I have. Okay, I have show turret, attack, move cursor. Trick target champions
Yeah,
only as a
that one.
toggle. This one.
Yeah, you click on it. So if you
I
wanna,
have it clicked. I have it clicked. Yes.
so if you turn it on, like sometimes it can happen you dive somebody on top or in here, and you accidentally click on the tower, or you click on minions, you know, and that will.
But it's on. It's set it on.
Yeah, so if it's on, it means that you won't like randomly click on minions or the tower, for example, you know.
So I have to turn it off.
No. If it's on, it means that you are clicking. It means that your mouse gonna be directed on the enemy champion, and not on minions and on towers. Like the primary target of your mouse will be the champions, right? So if it's on, then it's good. If you turn it on right now.
It's on.
But you shouldn't always have it on because sometimes you want to last it. So you can like use a hotkey for it, you know, you can bind it to a hotkey in the hotkey sections, but you can just press ESC. You can press ESC, and if you are looking to dive, you just click on it. Click on this one, press, you don't even have to press OK, you just press this one and it's working, you know. It's just like a really fast click. Like if you are already in the game section, you just press ESC, you click on it, and that's all, you press ESC again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can set it to a hotkey as well, but it's kinda whatever. Up to you. So now we are level 7. I don't like how passively you play in here, honestly.
Yeah, very. I told you.
Like, here's the thing, like...
I have also I have a long break of 3 months, something like this, and now the mechanics is changed, and I'm starting to get used with the mechanics. It's difficult for me.
So, it's like a simple thing. She's 0-3, you know, this level disadvantage, right? So, like, we gotta recognize, like, what's going on right now, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you ever try to slow her, like, she's overstepping. She's too often overstepping in here, like in here, right? Is the thing, like, if we ever get a short trade on her, we even possibly kill her if we get like an insane crit RNG, right? But if we get a trade on her, she will lose half HP, maybe a little more depending on the crit RNG, right? And then we can die for more easily without having ultimate up, right? But yeah, like I think like you gotta look into these things more. Like I think maybe one of your biggest weaknesses, as you said, you don't really like recognize like when you can go in and when you can't, right? Okay, go for a slow. So in here you should hit the... Oh, where are you running though? So in here what you should do, hit the tower, get 2 or 3 auto attacks, we get the plate, right? And then if Irelia attacks us instead of the minions gonna aggro on her, the big minion wave, right? Which means she will lose some of her HP. And then when we took 1 plate, we gonna auto attack her, spin out, but you need to time your spin in the sense that when the tower is targeting something, then you auto spin out so the tower doesn't hit you, right? And then she loses like something like this amount of HP, right? And when is your ultimate up? Do we know it? Your ultimate is up in 27. So normally it would be up like in 5 seconds, but it got nerfed. So
I think I wanted to take the dragon, but I did not know that it is worded, so I lost time there.
I mean, honestly, is the thing, like, I would rather steal these 2 camps instead of trying to take dragon so early on. That's just my thing, and because like the dragon, you know how much it gives you? It gives you 3.5% movement speed outside of combat and like 3.5% slow resistance. That's all it gives. It just simply takes too much effort. Like, I would rather get a wave, these 2 camps, instead of like trying to get Drake, you know. Drakes are like not really that valuable in these days, that's how I see it, you know. There's like one thing you do as well, like we ward at this side of the area, right? Which means Viego generally shouldn't gank us from this side, right? Because it's warded. You should lean more so downwards than upwards because we need to play around vision, you know, like we see if Viego comes from this side, right? But it's not the end of the world, I suppose it will escape this one, huh?
Yeah, he escaped.
You flash out, So they both use their ultimates, you can just simply ping that for your teammates if you want to. So they went downwards, right? Okay, so Master is getting chased. We could possibly rotate for this fight actually, no? Or you can just heal up from now with your Q, then I think we can actually fight this really easily, no? That's like one thing I didn't like what you did in here, right? Like Irelia was like, again, like, you had Ghost up, Mastery was around with his ult up, and if you remember from last time she had no ult, no flash, right? So if I go backwards in here, like, if you ghosted as soon as you saw her in here, she's just dead. Like, there's not much she can do against it, right?
She can stun me under the tower.
Uh, her stun is like 0.75 seconds, right? And you have double tenacity runes. You know how much that stun lasts? It lasts not much. I don't even know how much, but it's not much, you know.
Mhm.
Like if she can stun you, then what? So in here we see clearly they really are coming upwards, right? And here you just step up, you W her, you ghost. Maybe you don't even need to ghost. Um, but she's just walking in front of you, you know, while she's behind with CS, with levels, right? So we have ultimate up, right? And there is no way she kills us when we have our Q up as well. So if she tries to all in you, you can just press your Q and heal up this much, right? So there isn't like a risk out of it, right? And then we just run her down, right? Now Viego is around, but like probably you have the reaction time to ult test Tryndamere if you have like so much experience with the champion, right? That shouldn't be like an issue for you.
No, it's not.
So we go.
This is not an
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. So actually do whatever I said, I mean, you could do this but earlier on, but it's fine actually. It's fine. So this works as well. Okay, so let's see what you're doing here. In here you're backing off a little bit too much. Like you could have managed just take the wave as soon as Mastery killed Viego, and then we would push the tower a little faster. But it's not a big deal though. Okay. So in here we are taking the plates. We spin away. So how much gold do we have right now? We have lots of gold on us. I would actually just stay for something like maybe you wanna gank top lane right now? No? I would actually stay a little bit for one more wave, then sell D shield and then you have enough money for your Kraken or Gale Force. Maybe Gale Force this game, right? But I would just stay a little more, you know? Like you're like 100, around 100, 200 gold of Kraken or Gale Force, right?
Mhm.
Like I would just stay a little more, you know? Like maybe we take a wave and then we sell the shield, that's all. Alright. So Irelia pushed, she's rotating downwards, they want to take the Drake. So you're communicating, so it's quite good if you're telling them to back up.
Yeah, but they don't listen. The problem is that they don't listen too much.
Yeah, why is this?
Again, I don't know, man. I told you,
So you have like some clicking mistakes, like this will fix it, the target champions only, right?
Mhm.
Like you have some misclicks in there, I'm not sure, like maybe you have some... Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. Honestly, I don't like that you spin the right after, and I don't even think so you should aim to gank them before you get your ultimate up. Right?
Can you repeat the last thing that you said?
So
Because my mobile made a
so-
noise and I want to turn it off.
You remember when we were in here, right? The problem is we don't have ghost in here and we don't have ultimate either, so...
That's true.
Do we have ult? Shows that it's on cooldown right now. So here's the thing with this engage, like you should ban just W. Like the misfortune was something like this, we just slow her down, then we auto attack her continuously, right? And if she flashes, we spin after her, you know? It's same as when you're trying to dive somebody, you're gonna ghost, but you won't spin on them, you will spin only if they dash, right? So if we initiate with our slow and spin after she flashes, it's more likely we're gonna kill her, right? So if you know somebody has his flash up, best if you initiate with like a slow, and then you're gonna auto attack her continuously, and then you can just but like I assume like fighting is a little bit bad in here since we have no ultimate. No gold. Like here's the thing, like I think this roam is bad just because like we can't get much done since you don't have Gale Force yet, you know, we don't have Ghost, and it's really hard to gank the Nico with her slow rune and with the CC she has a lot of mobility and E-slow. Like it's difficult to gank them without Ghost, you know. Like best case scenario they just escape, you know. So we are sitting around right now. Like, I'm not sure when you're playing Tryndamere, do you press like A? Do you press like A and you click like with the attack move? Or do you just click and move? Like, how do you do it?
I just click.
No, you gotta get used to the attack move, it will help you shit ton actually. Just press A, click, and it's actually way easier to like auto attack and move, you know. That's what like legit everything in the mid player does, you know. Including me,
You
including like...
say A to press A and then click and then A and then click, something like this?
Yeah, like it's bound to your cursor, you know.
Hmm.
I like that you're doing this actually. Oh no, I don't like that you're doing this. Um, you should Bandai for the tower, honestly. One or two auto attacks is dead. Maybe one auto attack. Yeah, one auto attack, right? One or two.
Yeah, but I had no ult, and
It doesn't matter, you die for the tower, it's a good death. You get how
but
much?
but I had a lot of bounty, a big bounty on me,
How much?
and this Viego was good.
Oh, you had 500, I didn't see that actually. Yeah, maybe then it
So
wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a good trade-off then, I didn't know if you had that.
I gave him too much money.
Yeah, I didn't know you have such a big bounty. Then you can just simply like reset and you can get back before like the plates expire, no? Or what do we wanna do? We get the wave, then we reset quickly. I mean, honestly, you could then just reset, then rotate back, no? I think you would have enough time. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, you're back in lane. One or two autos. Tower's gone, no? Okay. So we got the tower, do we? Okay, we got the tower, and we couldn't do much more. Like, I think the main problem was in here. It were like 12 minutes, right? In 12 minutes. You could then just reset really quick, buy your item, rotate back, spin back to the lane as fast as you can, and you would still have time to get this tower, no? It's like one auto attack, so... Like, the thing is, like, Viego will hover around, right? Irelia is here because you want to get the plate, right? Before the plates expire, so... What he's thinking of, he will overstay to push the wave because you want to get the plates before 14 minutes, you know?
He was mid the game all of the time. He was there like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean that's why you got let's see it actually from your side. Oh wait, let's go to the blue side. I mean that's why you got to utilize a little bit more control wards or like trinkets. Like in here you have only like 5 wards for. So we got our Gale Force executioner.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Okay. You're spinning to lane. So anyway, we push as hard as we can, or we are looking to roam. We can possibly get a roam down on top lane with V-Bait. That's really good as well. Okay. Yeah, we got it. So we get all of his camps right now.
A summoner has disconnected.
Do you want to gank maybe top right now, or what do we do?
I think I was thinking to go top here. No.
I mean, is there a reason for you to recall right now?
I saw that Irelia was missing, I don't know.
Like honestly, if you don't wanna like transition gank top lane from like Rax, it would actually be more beneficial if you take Raptors, then you take the mid wave in here. Then what you can just simply do is just rotate downwards after that. Or like depends like
So what would you do after you take the Grump?
like here's the thing, like if you have no intention to gank top, right? What we want
Yeah.
to do is just take Raptors instead of Krugs because they're a little bit closer as well to the mid lane, and we take the mid wave, this wave and the other wave that die to the minions, and then what we want to do, Viego will think that he has no camps on top side, right? Which means he doesn't really want to be on the top side of the map, so which means that he will rotate down, because his blue is coming, Scuttle Scrub is coming, his Gromp is up. So maybe you will lose Gromp, right? But I'm not sure if I actually go backwards, maybe you had enough time to rotate for his Gromp. Let's see. Let's see if you had enough time. So in here you kill him, he has like 26 seconds I think, or I don't think I even remember, so we kill him. He's 27, yeah, so 27 seconds. Yeah, that means if we take these, we take the Raptors, we rotate down, I mean we take the mid wave, we get down, then he will only have Krags, but Krags are in a really bad spot because he can't really gank mid lane, like an Ahri with ultimate W up, it's not really gankable, you know. It's really difficult for him to ever get a gank done there, so what I recommend you to do, in here we just want to cut off like Viego as much as possible of his jungle, you know. Since we are this ahead, we have a lot of kills, right? We can just simply do this, we can steal his camps really quickly, right? We just get these, then we have ultimate up, right? Which means we can transition gank to bot lane with our ultimate, maybe we get a dive done, right? These guys don't even have summoner spells, in your rank I think people don't ping it, right? They don't ping it, so you didn't know. Like we can do like many things in here, but I feel like when you kill the enemy jungler, I think there are like better things to do than just kill 2 camps and like recall, you know? Like at least like steal 3 camps or like get something done with the fact that he's dead, right? Alright. Then here we reset. I mean it's kinda sucks to reset in here because the wave is getting pushed in by Irelia as well, possibly, no? She doesn't push, it's okay. Okay. So we got some items for our Noon Quiver. I hope you run her down in here, no? Yeah, you do. You do. Oh, we couldn't actually. We couldn't reach her. Oh, you didn't have to flash. Okay. Okay. That was like a good spin in there. Now we got caught by Viego, we lost a little bit of our mountain. But it's the thing, like, there is like another thing you sometimes do, so when you have a gigantic bounty on you and someone is as behind as like her, as I said, most likely Viego will hover around the bot side of the map because he knows for a reason that he has no top side camps, right? If there is like some type of risk that the jungler could possibly kill you, I wouldn't try to go for one, right? Like you die, she dies to the Irelia, right? But you had the bounty, you're more valuable than the other guy. Like here's the thing, like you can 1-for-1 if you get more gold out of it. If the opponent has bounty, if it's a first blood, or maybe your teammates get an objective because you killed the most fed member and you died as well, you know, like it should have more value, you know, than you give out. Alright, so in here Irelia is still turbo behind, we are ahead on the curve. So in here he brought Zeal for mobility. I mean, if you wanna buy Zeal, why don't you just buy the whole Phantom Dancer and skip like the Warhammer? Like, Phantom Dancer is fine as a second item because you can buy it so quickly, right?
But why Phantom Dancer? Because I already have the...
Oh, you wanna go Mortal then?
Because I had Viego, I had Irelia.
So we just kill her. One thing I noticed, sometimes you miss your spin as well on Tryndamere, like you use it a little bit earlier on than you would be in range, and then like just a little bit off. Sometimes your spins are a little bit off. They ward in here. TVA going here.
So what do you suggest me to do about this spin? It's not clear for me.
So like sometimes you miss your spin, you know, that's what I noticed. You E forward and sometimes it just goes off, you know. Like you got to make...
I mean, you mean I'm taking too little minions, what do you say? What do you mean? Or I miss the spin to the opponent?
Like in here, like you missed your spin on the Irelia because you didn't walk forward, you know, when you slowed her, you used it a little bit earlier on. Or I'm not sure if you use your spin at the maximum range, but in here we W her, and yeah, in here you randomly click the cannon. It's not a big deal though. Not a big deal. Right. So in here our W is up. By the way, if you're ever like staying around this side of the map, what you should do, just look at your W to see if the enemy jungler is here, because if you ward it, your ward range is smaller than your W range, right? So if you ever step up to ward this, it just basically means that he is already charging up his W when he sees you, and then he's just gonna kill you, you know? So it's better if you check it with your W, or if you auto attack this raptor and you pull it upwards, you know, so he can't collapse on you. I wouldn't even spin on this until I don't see Viego. And when we saw Viego in here, we should man rotate up for his cracks. Take this really quick. You shouldn't kill, by the way, the last one, so it doesn't respawn, you know. So in here we can't really contest the mid wave yet, because you don't have ultimate. I mean, you will have it up soon. Can we kill Viego though? Don't have Gale Force. You're a bit low on HP, like what I would do ideally in here, you could steal his cracks before he's rotating for them, you know? Which would probably give more value than these minions, gold wise, you know? Because right now I'm actually kinda unsure if you can like contest that wave. Probably you can, as ahead as you are, you have ultimate too. So then again, top lane right now. Cannon seems to be a bit fed. Here's the thing as well, like, your W, you gotta be more patient on your W. Like in here you W'd cannon when he was facing towards you, you know? And maybe you already know it that your W doesn't slow people if they are looking in.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, like, it's better if you use it later on than earlier on your W, you know? Like, it's better if you hold into it and see if somebody is walking away than if you use it too early on and it doesn't slow, because right now it's not a rotation ability. It means you shouldn't use it as quickly as possible to have it up again. It means that once you use it correctly, you kill cannon. If you don't use it correctly, then he can escape, right? So since he's not an AD champion, like for example against some champions like Renekton, you can use your W even if it doesn't slow, so you can like win the short trades, right? But here is different. Like in here we value the slow, not the damage reduction on the cannon, right?
That's true.
So if I go a little bit backwards in here, right? I'm not sure, did you have Ghost? Your Ghost is coming up in here. You have Ghost in 8 seconds, right? So in here he didn't see you, right? And what I want you to do, in here you should just hold a little bit more into your W, right? And we out-attack him. And then we Ghost. But the problem is W didn't connect, so I'm not sure if you would...
But you see, if I did not W him, then I would die.
From what?
From his ignite.
Your W doesn't reduce his ignite damage though.
Ah, okay.
Like, what do you exactly, like he has 480 abilities, what do you reduce with your W though? I'm not sure what would save you there, you know, that's the thing. It just does not do much, you know, if you use it defensively against cannon. Okay, so we buy our items. We can get... Do you get mortal? I assume it's good against like 2 champions, right? Against the rest of them it's like really whatever.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, usually if I have
Like
one Fed or two champions that have lifesteal, Omnivamp, something like this.
Honestly, I don't feel like it's really worth for you to rush it so quickly, because like there are 3 champions that it won't really affect too much, that if you have anti-heal or not, right? And 40% is enough. I don't think so you need 60%, because here's the thing, like the heal cut won't ever do, like if you buy Navoris or Phantom Dancer, the heal cut wouldn't ever like make up to the fact how much value would like Navoris Quick Blade give you, you know? Because the spin resets you get on Tryndamere would have more DPS than like this heal cut, you know, that it would ever provide you at this point of the game, because You gotta remember, she has no Blade of the Ruined King yet. Lifesteal got nerfed. If you remember, Lifesteal got nerfed. I'm not sure if you read patch notes, but every lifesteal item or almost every lifesteal item got nerfed, which means they are significantly weaker. Like, items that they build like Shield Bow is nerfed right now with the lifesteal effect. Same as Blade of the Ruined King, which really builds Bloodline got nerfed, which is a lifesteal rune. So right now rushing as a second item is not worth, you know. Like, I think it's way too early for you. Like, realistically, Garen would be like the only champion that gets Mortal Reminder second. On Tryndamere, I think it's really shit.
But I think Mortal Reminder does not work with on Garen, yes?
No, it works on Garen, it works. That's
It works good, okay.
he only gets it like, Garen is the only champion you get it, you know, as a second item. So he picked up the top side camps in here. Don't you need his red, or you skipped it, or now you want it? Or you turn back for it,
I think I did not notice it.
I didn't notice it.
No. I saw it later.
Been destroyed.
There's like one problem that we have in here, like we are really fed right now. Instead of trying to steal camps, what you should aim to do, we should hunt for some kills on the side lane, somewhere. Here's the thing, like, if we have like Gale Force up, we have a red, we should hunt for kills right now instead of trying to look for more CS. Like, the only way you are looking for CS if you are too behind and you are not really able to get any kills because your ultimate is on cooldown, your summoners are on cooldown, you don't have Gale Force, you know. But I'm like, if you have some type of things in your inventory or some summoners pass up that allow us to get kills, then I would rather force fights, you know, instead of trying to CS, you know.
Yeah, this is the thing that I was telling you, is that
Like, I think you got a balance CSing, you know. Balance CSing and like finding kills, you know.
here I forgot to ulti.
Oh, you didn't,
It was my mistake. Yeah.
So you couldn't ult in there in time, Thing is, like, definitely bad, you know, like, so... Yeah, like,
The thing with this ulti is that if you mistake, by mistake you press it too late or whatever, you know what I mean. I mean, everybody is on you.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody misses the Tryndamere with sometimes, you know, like, I don't think so. It doesn't matter how good you are, you know, even me, even my friend, like even, it doesn't matter how high ranked you are, you know, you just still manage to miss it sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes they have crits or they all focus you and you don't have enough time to.
You know, sometimes there is some random damage that hits you, you don't expect it, you know, like, it just happens. That just happens to everybody. Okay, so now we are really fat. Yeah, it looks like the whole game we are not really using A-click. Like, if you use A-click, you're gonna be way better, you know. Like, there are some settings issues you have on Tryndamere, as I see.
What do you mean setting issues?
Like, for example, you don't really use target champions solely, or you don't really use like the attack move command, you know. Like, here is this attack move on cursor, right?
Yeah, I have it.
And there is like the A, you press A and you click, you know, so it's easier to stick to somebody, you know.
Like here, I should press A and click, yes?
Yeah, A and click. Like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but that's what, like, if you ever watch like streamers, maybe you don't see it with your eyes, but they are pressing like A click, you know. It's easier to like stick to people, you know, when you spin on them.
Yeah, sometimes I feel this, that I miss a lot of hits.
Like, when you watch streamers, they spin on somebody, sometimes they land a little bit more auto attacks than you do, you know. And that can happen because like you're not like auto attacking and like moving in between correctly, you know.
Killing spree.
Same here, we are
Can you give me some drills or something for this to improve this?
yeah, basically I can show it after the replay what you can do about that one. Can show it in the practice too, like what you can do about it. So we rotate downwards, spin on the wave. I mean, honestly, if you just side lane the whole game, that would be like more beneficial than if you ever try to team fight in here, honestly. But you could go either ways, honestly. Yeah, you could go either ways. So you want to take this Drake? There's an Irelia. Oh, you have this much amount of gold on you. Okay, it's a lot of gold. It's just like one bad thing you did in here, like we don't really reset. Like you should reset before it spawns, not when the Drake is about to spawn, you know? Like you should time your reset in a way that you will be here when there is a Drake fight, you know? Or you will be here when we want to secure this Drake. You can't reset before, you can't reset right when it spawns, you know? Because in here, if you are in here with our lead, then possibly we're gonna get multiple kills since you have double tenacity runes. They don't have the best Tryndamere contours, they don't have a Janna in here or something, right? Or a Malphite or something to kill you most, right? Like, I don't believe if you stood in here for this fight, maybe we'll get like everybody, you know? I just say the thing, like, two things happen, your teammates gonna force and they gonna die, like, this is what happens in lower ranks, you know, like, people want to permanently fight, so you gotta stay around these fights, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is that they want to fight and I'm not so eager to fight, and it's a conflict here.
I mean, you can just ping them away, tell them to not force for the Drake, like, that's what you can do, ping them away, hope it works. If it doesn't, you're just gonna stay as well. A Tryndamere player that doesn't always wants to constantly fight, that's like a really like random thing, because like every Tryndamere player I met so far, they want to permanently fight me. That's like, is the thing, like, that's how Tryndamere is kinda like the champion's identity, you know? Okay. Now we killed Viego, why don't we just Baron? We could just ping our team to Baron, why don't you just Baron?
I think after this we go Baron. Yes, I think then we go Baron.
So Baron, like, two people are dead, we have Master.
Yeah, I think I pinged them for Baron.
Okay, so we see Misfortune with. Yeah, you are forcing this Baron really good actually.
They were not here, but then they decided to come.
Honestly, from this point you could just simply like sit on the side lane with all of your item advantages, like nothing can actually match you in general. You're picking up this wave as well. Like what you could do at this point, you can just get this wave, reset and push like the bot side of the map, no? Because I'm like not much can match, you know, like if we tab not much can actually match us, almost nothing actually with our infinity yet, right? So ideally we need to split them up as well in here, because they really have like a team comp that's a bit more so team fight oriented, right? They have this Viego that likes to get resets in team fights, they have a Cannon, they have a Nico, right? They have a Misfortune, so if they have like this type of combo, more so team fight oriented team comp, we should split them up, you know, and we shouldn't try to like force team fights, especially not as a Tryndamere, you know. So with the lead you have, and with the fact that we know that they have so many champions that are so team fight oriented. In fact, all of these champions are doing well in team fights, you know. And we have an Ahri, we have a Mastery as well, right? And we have a Jhin as well with his W. So our team comp, it's more so like we need to get picks, you know. Our team comp is more so like getting picks and like splitting the map up for Mastery and for Ahri. We have like two assassins, right? Ahri is like a mage assassin type of thing, you know. And if we split up the map, it means that people want 5-man group, which makes it significantly harder for Mastery to function in between 5 people. Because if 5 people stack on top of each other and Mastery tries to go in, he's gonna get one shot at, he's gonna get CC'd, right? That's not a fun way to play Mastery, right? Same as Ahri, same as Jutsu. So in here I would even get probably Heartbreaker at some point on Tryndamere. So we rotate up. No, this is the thing, like, your team has Baron and they are good at clearing waves, right? So we're trying to get some wolves in here, or what are we doing here? Getting some wolves. So So you commit first? Okay.
Shut down.
Honestly, I don't think so you should ban spin on him, because the burn would actually kill him, the dead dance. I'm not sure if you saw that, but the burn would actually kill him, so you could actually spin away, maybe take the gate, or maybe just flash, you know? Like, I think you were a little bit overcommitting in here. Same as in here, like, I think you could ban keep your W's. I guess it's whatever. In here you don't spin anymore, like in here you just spin downwards and flash maybe out, you know? Like, if I use all, it would actually just simply die to the burn. You see the burn? You see the burn? So if you keep your... maybe there is a word where you escape, like if you spin some ever, like downwards maybe, like when you saw Viego, by the way, you should then start ghosting as well, you know? Then there is a word where if you start ghosting from the beginning, we commit to this fight, we kill him earlier, then we can maybe find like some type of route to escape with our E and flash, right? Problem is, like, we are kinda getting cut off from both sides, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think if you would like maybe spin towards this area and like flash out, maybe you would stall enough to somehow walk towards the Drake Baron pit area, and when you reach this area your spin would be up, then you can spin again. You kinda have to visualize, you know, like these type of engages that you go in, like if there is like some type of get out for you, okay? But then again, like that dance is like a thing you gotta play around as well, you know? The burn damage, which often people don't expect, okay?
So you suggest to pick Death Dance now?
What did you say?
Would you pick Death Dance now?
You could get Dead Dance, you could get Heartbreaker as well, you could get many things. Here's the thing.
I never use Death Dance. I use only...
There's the thing about your...
Cycles.
Like, I would just switch Mortar Reminder with Heartbreaker, then you could just legit side lane from that point, no? Like, look at the heal cut, it did like 1000 heal cuts, and you were, by the way, you were fighting a Viego. Yeah, like, I don't feel like Heartbreaker is actually kinda OP on Tryndamere if they are having some type of burst damage champions, which they have in here. Like, Irelia has some burst, but she's behind, she doesn't matter, but they have like 2 champions, 3 champions that are bursty. Even she can have burst damage, but she has like bad itemization. So, like, here's the thing about side laning. We have Baron, right? And we have Heartbreaker as well, for example, right? Which means that these cannons will be really overpowered, and no cannon can't wave clear them. Like they can't clear the cannons from the Heartbreaker, right? Which will allow us to simply pressure even without getting under tower and trying to hit the tower, right? And say if your opponent is something really weak, like a Zilean or something, you can even go first item Heartbreaker in some case scenario actually, and it can be totally fine. Like Zilean is like the best example I can actually give you, since he is solo on damage, that if you go for Demolish, you can just basically push the tower in front of them and get his plates, you know, without him actually doing much about him. Like this, that's what I did actually, like against like a really high game Zilean player, and I would say it can work in any rank actually. Okay. So we slow her, we hopefully kill her. Yep, we do. No, we don't. I think you play blindfolded in here or what? Pick up damage. So what's our next step? We are pushing the top tower?
I think yes.
So in here we push as hard as we can. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Cleotrapara. Okay, so we're just pushing in here. So if you are pushing this side, what you should aim to do, you should ward usually this side of the map, you know, so we can have like vision wherever people will collapse on us. So if they have something like a Nidali Spear, you will see that Nidali Spear, you know, any type of skill shots like a Nico, EQ, whatever it might be, right? Having vision there is quite important, you know.
Red team's turret
Same as when you're split pushing this area, you know, like you should ward this area so we can see like who's
Mm-hmm.
collapsing on us.
Double. Okay.
Or you could go like for a ward in here as well if your teammates already warded this side. Okay. So let's see what you're doing here. We are walking downwards, we are doing the initial. I think you're team fighting a little bit too much, you know. Like I think if you would side lane, it would like solo win this, you know. Because I don't feel like there is like really a reason for you to force these team fights, you know. Like if you just split them up, it would be more beneficial for like almost everybody in your team. Like, you look into your team comp as well and you will see that if you have too much assassins in your team, then you should aim to split push,
shut
right?
down.
So you create
So in
like,
this case, you would push more silence.
yeah, like I would split push more because it creates a more ideal situation for Mastery and Ari to get picks, you know? Like you have like two assassins in here, let's say, right? And say if they stay grouped, then it sucks for these people, right? It usually sucks. Right. Because here's the thing, like, you should ask yourself, like, if you're turbo fed in lane, like, one person can't match you in here, you know? They need at least two people, right? But if two people rotate for you, it means two people won't be on the Baron side, or if your team is pushing, then they can get, like, value on the other side of the map, they can cross map, right? So, my point is that if you're this ahead, and it's beneficial for your team to side lane, and they have, like, a team comp that's really strong in team fights, then you should 100% aim to side lane, right? Like there are many things that you can look at and identify if you just want to side lane or if you just want to like lane fight, right? I think like one of the things that like this game should be already over, honestly, that's how I see it, you know? If you're this ahead. It's just like for you trying to like team fight, it's less beneficial, you know? Because like it's really the champion's identity to mostly like side lane, you know.
You mean split pushing?
Yeah, split pushing, yeah. Side laning, split pushing, yeah. Because let's say even if there is something that matches you, let's say maybe they have a tank like Ornn or Malphite, something like that. You can still out-rotate them if they don't have TP. Let's say you push in a wave, there is an Ornn, you can push the tower from him. He's really tank, but you're faster because you have your spin, right? And you can like rotate. When he's dealing with the wave, you're already like spinning towards your team to make a team fight, right? So there are like many reasons why you can just abuse like side laning, especially in solo queue. Like side laning is kind of broken because team people don't really have a good communication, you know, and like people will be just confused like what to do, you know, with it, especially in lower ranks. Like sometimes it will happen, multiple people will rotate for the same wave, or people don't even know who to send against the path in the mid. As in here we picked up the Nico. And there is like one other problem, you know, like with the fact that you brought like Mortar Reminder. You already have like 60% crit, you know, from your items. I don't feel like it's really good for you. Like I would just cut off the Mortar Reminder, you know.
And what did you pick?
Just get Executioner if you need anti-heal, you know. But as a second item, I don't ever see like Mortar Reminder being good, you know.
Blue team double kill.
Like instead of that, you can get like so many things. Like you can rush Nabori second, you can get Phantom Dancer if you value early game damage power, right? You can get Heartbreaker if the game if you are looking to side lane and not.
I never used Heartbreaker.
They don't like Heartbreaker. I mean, it's a thing that people get on sometimes on Tryndamere.
So when I focus on split pushing, you really suggest to use Heartbreaker.
Yeah, like it's ideally better against like AP champions, you know, or like assassins if they have some type of like if they have lots of assassins like bursty champions. Because if you have Heartbreaker, You can't really be one-shotted anymore, you know, which means that you can like fight an assassin without like him one-shotting your HP and like disengaging, you know, which means your ultimate is not forced out. So in here we are full build. At this point you could just sell boots, you know, because you have enough mobility from Gale Force and then you get like a third item. I mean the seventh item. Sixth, I mean. Yep. So here's the thing, like we can sell boots and we can get maybe Phantom Dancer, not necessarily Phantom Dancer, but I think there are options you can go for, like you could go not Lord Dominic's, I mean you can get Blade of the Ruined King, really strong item, right? That dance not bad, like anything actually that provides you some type of damage that's required this game. Because boots are not so valuable when you have Gale Force mobility, you know, because you get like another mythic passive on the legendary item that you will have. So you will have a bit less movement speed, but you will have way more damage if you get like Lord Dominic's. Not Lord Dominic's, I mean Blade of the Ruined King, yeah. Keep messing these things up. Or you could even get Hullbreaker, honestly. Like I like Hullbreaker this game because in this game I would side lane a lot and they got like lots of like bursty champs in here. That would be like a good item too. Like, there are many things you can go for, you know. Probably I would just go for a Hullbreaker. Okay, so you need to get one, yeah. Yeah, so this is what happens if we team fight, you know. Like if they have AO, you see the ultimate she has, the ultimate cannon has, right? So if we team fight, we're gonna be caught with our whole team in the same CC, in the same ultimate, so everybody gets wiped at the same time, right? So if we don't team fight, we win. If we team fight, we lose. Like this is how simple it is when they have like 4 champions that are good in team fights, you know, even Viego. So like I think the main problem is that sometimes you don't recognize when, like in mid game, I think in mid game like one of the problems is that you don't recognize when to side lane, you know. Like I actually never really seen you side laning as Tryndamere, you know. Like I think I seen you once or twice around this area, but you didn't like split push too much. With your advantage, that's what I would generally do, you know.
So in this case, I was thinking the opposite because I have advantage. I have to be more in fights.
I mean,
to
here's
help
the
my
thing, like you join a fight, what's gonna happen? Viego, Cannon or Misfortune catches you in the same ultimate as she catches you your teammates, right? Like them being in a 5-man group, it's really bad for you and for your teammates, right? Because they have so much AoE damage, right? And what happens in a team fight, it's hard to kill Viego, or like he has stopwatch. Like if you look at their items, they have a lots of healing, they have a lots of armor. It's maybe we can kill Misfortune and that's all, because Nico is not killable because of her Sonya, W, stuns and all that. It's just like, it's not really beneficial for you even if you look at their items, right? Like I think you kinda lost this game in here because you chose to team fight a bit too much. Like I feel like in Silver you could definitely solo carry if you just split them up, you know. Like what I did, like I reached even like Master or Diamond, at least Diamond as I remember, just by side laning, you know. I didn't even team fight at all. Like when I was
really? And everybody was blaming you that you're not coming to...
sometimes they were blaming me, but my problem was, for example, when I was lower rank, like I was Platinum, Diamond, whatever rank, it was my problem that I mostly side laned and I didn't recognize when to team fight, you know, because like what I've been told by everybody that as Tryndamere you should mostly side lane and team fights are often really bad, but that's not true. Like you should balance it both, like trying to like team fight, getting picks and side laning, you know. It just really depends like how fed you are and what kind of champs that they have, right? Like how useful is your champion in team fights, right?
So the big mistake in this game was this, that I was not splitting.
Yeah, from mid game on, I think what fucked up, like, yeah, like what kind of messed up the whole thing is just simply like not side laning enough. Like this is what happens if you try to team fight. They're gonna one shot your HP, then you're hoping that you can do something with your ultimate, you know.
Killing spree.
And yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, yeah, we pretty much got the main thing. So let me show you like what does like attack move even do and how does it help you. Can like go into the practice tool and show you like how to practice it, how to fix this. do this again. Let's go to the training practice tour. Let's add a bot as well. Tryndamere, for example. Let's get the Tryndamere, but you can do it on any champion.
This'll be a slaughter.
Let's get lethal tempo at least. Standard thing. And attack speed. Okay. Now secondary runes are not needed. I just have them there. They don't really matter in here. Let's. Now, I don't really have personally too much like misclick problems, you know, in between minions or when it comes to the tower, but if you have any, then you can just turn this option on as we talked about, right?
I am your worst nightmare.
Ah, it's a lot of FPS I have. That's from like GeForce now, you know. Let's place like few dummies down in here, like this. So what you often do, as I saw, you do something like this, then you click, then sometimes you misclick on some things, right? This is what like often you do. And there is like the A button, right? I press A. You can see that my cursor
The
gets.
circle.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the circle doesn't have to be here. You can turn it off or on. It does not do anything. It just like shows you the range of your auto attack, right? So you can do this as well, like this, but you can do like this.
So you click when you press the A.
Yeah, you click and you press A, and that's all. You click on the champ as well, eh? And now I will show you on Ashe like how to do it. Like it's easier to do it on a champion that's moving, right? Because of course like people won't stay in one position for you to auto attack them. So let's skip a little bit of the time in here. Let's go like 30 seconds.
As you wish.
Sash is in lane. Oh wait, I don't have items. Items don't matter too much. Let's say like you spin on someone, right? You're gonna ghost that. And you see like I'm auto attack moving. I'm not like missing on auto attacks, you know, like I'm not like dispositioning myself from auto attacking her, right? At the same time in here I had target champions on, which I don't have it on, but you saw like I wasn't really misclicking on minions because it was on, right?
So I keep that target.
You can keep it on, but you know, like you can turn it off as well when it's not needed. It's up to you. It will just, like sometimes you want to last hit and you don't want to hit the enemy champion, and then maybe you will accidentally click on it, you know. So that's that, you know, but you can have it on if you are fighting, you know.
I thought this is with auto attack.
You mean like, no, auto attack is off. It's always off.
It's
For
off. Yes, yes, yes.
Like it's always off for me, right? No.
Yeah, for me as well.
That's not really a good thing to have. Now with boots it becomes a little bit different because you have more mobility. So in here I don't have ghost, for example. In here I can keep auto attacker. You see, I auto attacker, I move, I auto attacker. This guy is not moving. But you should aim to spin when someone is out of your auto attack range, so you can like stick to her like for a longer time, right? And sometimes you like spin too preemptively on Tryndamere, you know. And sometimes you just randomly spin through things like that. Okay. Now what else did I tell you that you should like just press A and click? That's like a really easy thing to do. Then what else? Sometimes you misclick. We have target champions only, right? Now talked about your macro and like the matchups, like when you should play a bit more offensively. Like as I said, if you have full fury, you should win most of the level 2 matchups. You know, that's like the thing about Tryndamere. In fact, if you have like priority, lane priority, and the enemy top laner had to leash, then it's really easy for you to get like full fury, get a level 2 advantage and all in them. And in silver it will most likely work because people don't really respect like level 2 advantages early on. Like they won't know when you get level 2, right? So same as in here, right? And in here sometimes you do something like this. Like I think you misclick because you don't have target champions on, and because you are clicking on the ground and maybe you accidentally click on minions, you know? Okay.
But as long as I use A and click, then it should be okay.
Yeah, it should be fine, but in between minions you still might be able to misclick if you don't have target champions on, you know, and you only use A click. But yeah, but by the way, you have to have then the option on, which I showed you, you know, the move, which you already have on actually, the The move on cursor, attack move on cursor, it should be on.
Attack move on cursor.
Yeah, you
Let me
should like
see.
check it. It should be on. Otherwise, it's not working.
Attack move on cursor is on, yes. I have on like this. I have show turret range, I have attack move on cursor, and I have 3 target champions only as a toggle.
Yeah, you can even set it to a hotkey if you choose. Yeah.
Okay, and on hotkeys, I have interface. Toggle teamfight user interface. Yes, A.
Yep.
Okay. Okay then.
Now, do you have anything else to ask that I forgot to mention or something?
No, not now. I have to test this that you told me,
Well,
and I have to see how it fits in the game.
there's like another thing you can do if you really want to, like you're facing a matchup. What you can do, you can go to Google and you can like search like a certain champion, any champions, and you can see their stats, like you can see their base stats, you can see their abilities, how much damage they do, and then you can like see if they out damage you in the early levels or if you win those fights. Like for example, last time it was Irelia fandom, right? And in here, like if you go in game it won't show you, but on the fandom it shows you like everything, like every bit of detail in game. Like if you are in the shop and you look at the champion abilities, it doesn't like tell you every bit of detail. In here it shows you the base stats. um, it shows her details of the abilities, the ability, how it works. Now I know this is a bit long, but what you should look at the early level is the attack speed it gives, right? And the damage, like then again, like you can look at like general damage stats, like how much damage her abilities do, and then you know like how to play around her, if you know like if you know how her abilities like generally work,
So this is what you do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do sometimes as well. I mean I did, but I already know like all of these abilities from my head, so I don't really like read them, like before the game, because I already know like how these matchups go. But this is like a beginner help, it helps beginners.
What was the turning point in your game when you switched to a normal level to something very good?
I
What
mean,
did you manage to be good
uh,
at?
I mean, I think like one of the things was like really important part about the mentality itself. Like this video actually me a lot. It was from Don Kwap. There was like a video on YouTube, kind of changed me. He said like there was like video about like why Asians are better in League, and there was like this Don Kwap YouTuber. He actually just said that they just simply cut off their ego, and uh, they don't like they don't tilt themselves way too much over games, and they just get through it, like they have like a better mentality for it, they don't spend their times with flames, they rather try to like
But which one of them is this?
Asians are better. I can search out the video for you, right? Now one of the other
No, I see. Wait.
now the other thing what was I was like watching streamers, I was
Is League two or one?
no, I send you the link in here. You don't have to like search it up. Look, this is the link, right? Oh wait, this is the second part. You can watch the first part. You can watch the first part as well. It's on his YouTube channel. I accidentally sent you the second part. Now here's the thing. There was like another thing. I watched like streamers, YouTubers, right? Now that helped me a lot as well, right? Like watching streamers and trying to copy whatever they do, or asking around questions, trying to learn from others. Watching your replays can help you a lot, then you can like when you watch your replays you can like see the base stats, the ability damage, the cooldowns they have. It helps you to play around cooldowns, like watching sometimes your replays in matchups you don't understand and trying to look through their abilities, or if you suck ass in a matchup you can just type like maybe you lost against a Renekton on top lane or whatever it might be. You can just type like on YouTube like rank 1 Tryndamere player against Renekton, and then you can like see what the hell does that guy do in this matchup that I don't understand,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Then thank you very much
Uh,
for the opportunity, and I will try to apply what you just
Alright,
mentioned.
then that's it for now. If you want to, you can leave a feedback on the coaching feedback section, but it's just optional. Um,
Coaching feedback section.
oh yeah, you can see like coaching feedbacks, and you can like leave a feedback if you want to.
Okay, here. Okay,
Uh,
okay, got it.
that's it for now, but have a nice day then.
Thank you. Have a nice day as well.
I'm gonna post it
Thanks.
on YouTube, this clip, which I said about it, you know. I'm gonna send you the link later if you wanna rewatch it, so if you forgot some things, you can like see it there, you know, and it will help others as well to improve on Tryndamere.